Hey, I'm Tori.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Ryan.
Have you always wanted to explore the world of sports but haven't found an accessible barrier of entry?
Or maybe you're just a sports expert who wants to laugh about who won, who lost, and who makes way too much money.
Or maybe you just want to understand Ted Lasso better.
Regardless of your relationship with sports, Good Game is there to break it down for you.
It's a podcast about sports for rookies, veterans, and everyone in between.
Whatever is happening in sports, Justin, Tori, and I will be there to talk through it all.
With jokes, hot takes,
and sometimes literal tears.
So check out Good Game, a Trident Network podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts.
As a little girl, I used to watch them build their nests. Giant baskets as tall as a man. Inside of them were many smaller nests where they would raise their families.
Like a village!
Yes. And there were many different colors, red, and some were black, and others were yellow. I would watch them for hours, thinking how they worked together, helped each other. Never did I see them fight. I would wonder why people could not be more like them.
Because people are not birds, Flora. The things you say sometimes. I hate myself.
Hey, Val.
Hey, Al. Hey, Mo.
Hi.
Welcome to D-Commentaries.
Welcome to you. Welcome to our listeners, and welcome to our special guest, Mo. Mo, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Mo. I am currently very sweaty.
A glisten. A beautiful glisten.
You're shining.
It's been a long day. I'm Mo. I am a comedian in Chicago. I run a small business called Momo's Book Club. And I do comedy all over Chicago. I don't know what else to say. I don't like talking about myself, so that's a fact.
Okay.
We can vouch for Mo that she is an incredible comedian and small business woman.
Yes. If you have young children, definitely check out Momo's Book Club. Mo is here because when this podcast was just an idea, was just a glint in our eye, I mentioned it to Mo at one point, and she said, I must be on the episode when you do Color of Friendship. And that is what we are doing today.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just hop right in. The Color of Friendship came out February 5th, 2000. So we're still in the every month release era of DCOMs. Color of Friendship, though, it doesn't feel like a DCOM. We'll talk more about this later, but it doesn't feel like a DCOM.
And it doesn't look like
all.
a 2000s filmed DCOM.
No.
Nope. I think it was nice that they made this, but it's weird. It's weird that they put it in this group of films that it doesn't fit in at all.
We're going to have a lot of sighing and sounds today. So
they tried, They tried.
Yeah, they did. So the film was directed by Kevin Hooks, who this was his only DCOM, but he has been a TV director for forever, and he's done a ton of major shows. Most recently, he's done a few episodes on This Is Us. So he definitely has some cred. It was written by Paris Qualles, Qualles.
Yep.
And Paris, let's see if you guys can recognize a theme here. These are all TV movies that Paris wrote. Tuskegee Airmen, Rosa Parks' Story, and A Raisin in the Sun, along with this movie.
I'm sorry, did she write the screenplay for A Raisin in the Sun? Because that's not...
The screenplay for a TV movie.
Of Raisin in the Sun. Okay.
Of A Raisin in the Sun. Okay. And actually, Paris is a man.
Oh.
Or at least presents male, I should say. So Paris has a niche, and this movie definitely fits in that niche.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong at all. Okay, this has a pretty big cast, so I'll go as quickly as I can. Lindsay Hahn played Mahree Bok. Lindsay has been a character actor most of her career. She was on True Blood for a pretty good stint, so that's probably what people might recognize her most from.
Or from being the absolute turd in The Color of Friendship. You might recognize her from this.
And from doing like a passable South African accent.
It's passable, yeah.
I think it's Shadia Simmons as Piper Dellums. She is also in 2 other DCOMs. She's in Quince, and she replaces Raven in Xenon the sequel.
That's right. Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I also loved Quince, so that's exciting.
Me too. And I haven't seen it in forever. I'm excited when we get to that one. Yeah, she doesn't seem to be still acting, but she was a pretty active child actor.
And I think she was good.
Yeah, she was great. Carl Lumbly as Congressman Ron Dellums. Now, everyone probably recognized Carl. He's been in a lot of stuff. Most recently, he was Isaiah Bradley in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So any Marvel fans out there would recognize him from that. He's also this is kind of a random thing that I figured out because I'm a nerd. So there's a character in the DC comic universe called John Jones. And Carl played John Jones in like the 80s or 90s. And then more recently on the Supergirl show on the CW, he played John Jones's dad.
Cool.
Which is really cool. Yeah.
Aww.
So that was neat.
And he had a great mustache and he was hot. So we love that for this movie.
Great bro. Like, great situation.
Yeah,
Just
he was
True.
great.
So handsome.
Doing great.
Yeah.
We're also noticing a theme here. Allie loves a man in a mustache.
I live, laugh, love a man in a mustache.
She was like, what was his name last week? Jim Marshall?
Yeah.
Jim, the dad from Up, Up, and Away. She was like, he can get it.
I'm going to have to rewatch that now.
Gotta Google it, Mo.
Up, and away. Whoop. Okay, yeah, I have to look at that. I don't remember what that one is. I'm sure
It's
I saw
pretty
it,
good.
though.
It's a little campy, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Penny Johnson plays Roscoe Dellums. She
love her.
The best person in this movie by a mile.
Like, the best. Oh,
amazing.
love her.
And she has a resume a mile long. I mean, she's had long stints on Larry Sanders Show, ER, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, 24,
that's
Castle.
Right. She is on Star Trek.
Yeah, and most recently she was on The Orville for a while.
Oh, is that the
she's a
Seth
main
MacFarlane
character.
show?
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, then we've got Anthony Burnett as Brandy Dellums, one of the younger brothers, Travis Davis as Eric Dellums, the other brother, Melanie Nichols King as Flora. I recognized her from The Wire.
Yeah.
And she's also been in Rookie Blue, and with an E, Little Fires Everywhere, and many other things.
Yeah.
Wow. Everyone had really good careers from this movie.
Oh, yeah. These are like real actors. A lot of these people are like great. Susan Danford as Mahree Bok, Mahree's mom. Stephen Jennings as Pieter Bok, her dad. They're both, I believe, based on their resumes, South African actors. So that's probably why I've never seen them before in my life.
Also why they were so good at their jobs. Sorry, keep going.
They weren't acting.
No. Because they probably didn't live through apartheid.
Yep. Michael Kanev as Rian Bok, and he was the little brother, and he was cute. He was fine. He was definitely doing a British accent.
Yeah.
We've got Ahmad Stoner as Daniel, who I believe is the friend from Nigeria. Ryan Cooley as Billy.
That's the little white boy.
Yeah.
The little white, the token white boy in their friend group. So,
that's right.
He's got a weird shaped head, but he's great.
He was great. The friends were great. They did a good job.
Yeah, it was great. And he actually went on to be on Degrassi, The Next Generation. So he had a little career.
Nice.
And then this is kind of fun. The real Eric Dellums played a character named Oliver, who I don't know where he was, but he was there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Fun little factoid.
That's cool.
Good. Love that.
Yeah. Here's the synopsis. And Mo, just so you know, I basically just Googled the movie and then pulled the synopsis that comes up on the right side of my screen. So sometimes it is a disaster. Like last week, it was a complete disaster. So we'll see how, and I never read them before. So this will be fun.
All right.
Hopefully it's fine. In 1977, two girls from opposite sides of the world come together and change each other's lives. Young, white Mahree Bok lives in apartheid South Africa with her wealthy family. Piper Dellums, the daughter of a black U.S. congressman in Washington, D.C., prepares to welcome Mahree to the U.S. for a semester abroad. Mahree is surprised to find her host family is black, and Piper is stunned that Mahree is white. Each will have to question the assumptions she had. That last sentence is a little bit of a false equivalence, but otherwise it's okay.
Yeah.
Although to be fair to them, to whoever wrote this, Roscoe makes kind of the same point at one point to Piper. So
Yeah.
maybe they pulled it from that.
Yeah.
Anyway. So Mo, what were your first impressions watching this movie?
So the first time I saw it when I was a kid, I think I really liked it because it was the first like Disney movie with just like a whole lot of black people, and I was like, this is pretty cool. But the next time I watched it, I was kind of like, what are you doing, Disney? what happened? Why do you only trot this out during Black History Month? I don't understand what's going on. Because then I had questions about it. So I'm like, why this movie? Like, why is this okay?
Okay.
So is what we decided on. All right.
Mo, have you seen it a bunch of times?
So I saw it a bunch as a kid, and then the first time they put all of the Disney original movies on like Comcast, I watched it again. I was like babysitting. It was like 5 years ago. I watched it because I sent Val like my Facebook status about it.
Oh yeah.
Because I hadn't seen it. I watched it and I was like, oh, what happened? And then I watched it again last week. But I've seen it like several times. Like, yeah, this is not the first time I watched it through. So
Nice.
Cool.
Al, what did you think?
Thanks, Val. I don't think I had ever seen this movie until yesterday. There are certain DCOMs that I'll watch and I don't really remember, but I remember parts of it. I remember nothing from this movie. So if I have seen it, I don't remember a thing. So a lot of this plot line was very shocking to me as an adult human being. I'm going to give this movie a 7 out of 10 because I think there are parts of it that are, there are a lot of parts of it that are very important, but it does lack in certain choices that they make throughout.
yeah.
And Mahree is an absolute horror for most of it. And the amount of times that I said, oh my God, out loud was too many. It was too many. There were parts of this movie I really did like. I think we mentioned it earlier. The mom, Roscoe, is, if I was only basing this movie off of her, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
She rocks this movie. But yeah, I had a friend yesterday, I was telling them we were doing this movie and they told me the plot line and I was like, oh, I don't know if it's about that. And then as I was watching, I was like, oh. So it was very shocking to me. Val, what were your first impressions?
Well, I watched it today for the first time since I saw it like when it first came out. So it's been a while. And I definitely didn't remember like any details. Like probably because I didn't understand it really when I first saw it. Like I didn't understand like what apartheid was or anything about it. And we don't learn anything really about it in school here. So like it probably just like flew over my head completely. So watching it this time, I was like impressed with how direct they were about a lot of the facts and like the story, like the true story. Because this is, I don't even know if we said this already, but this is based on a real experience. Like these are real people. And the stuff around, was it Stephen Biko?
Yeah.
The activist in South Africa. He's a real person. That really happened. So that was all entirely true. And I thought that they actually did a pretty good job presenting that, especially within the context of like a TV movie focused towards children. So I thought that was pretty impressive. And like, I know that Mahree as a character is really hard to watch, but I that must have been incredibly hard to do
Oh yeah.
as a child actor. And so I do want to give Lindsay Hahn props.
That's a
for
big ask.
like, yeah,
of a
for
kid.
being like this villainous kind of character, and like not only that, but also doing like a passable South African accent on top of it. Like, I thought that was great. I mean, I thought the acting in general in this movie was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Which like makes sense because most of these people are career actors who are like real actors, and that makes a huge difference. I also thought the writing was pretty good. Like, there were moments like when the parents were kind of bantering back and forth and stuff like that, where it felt very natural, like very like organic. So I liked that aspect of it as well. So yeah, overall, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Enjoy is a weird word to say about this movie, but like, yeah, I didn't like regret watching it afterwards. Like, it was a
It
good
was really
movie.
pretty informative too.
Yeah,
I learned
for
a
sure.
lot.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of good history, and I feel like because a majority of people in the U.S. only study like American history, so it was good to like get this clue in about apartheid, which like ended like mid '80s, so like it wasn't that long ago when this movie was filmed that they were talking about it again. So
Totally.
it was a good point. I just
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll realize why I docked it 3 points for being a 10 out of 10.
So on that note, Mo, did any quotes or specific moments stand out to you?
Yes.
In the movie?
Okay. So the part when Mahree wants to stay, she comes down to breakfast that first morning, and she was like ordering all this food from Roscoe. And they're like, they have cereal like for breakfast on the table. She's like, oh, I want eggs and bacon or sausage if you have it. And she's like, honey, you like Lisa? She's like, I'm what you do like family. And right now we're having cereal. Like, and she like walks out of the room.
Yep.
Marty's like,
But then when her head pops around to like
she's like-
look at her, so
Marty's like,
funny.
I guess I'm having these cereal O's. And she's like, I walked out. I was like, yes, Roscoe.
In that moment, Mahree goes, is something wrong? And Roscoe goes, nothing we can't fix.
Like the kids like just slip out. They're like, oh, this is not our. They're like, we're gonna
Yeah.
scoop. And I was like, they're like, no. So good. I was like,
Yeah, that was great. Any others?
Yeah, I guess also, the classic shopping montage. It was a fun moment, seeing them shop for these
Totally.
70s clothes.
super cute.
That was fun. Cool. Al, what about you?
Yeah, I had some fun quotes. They ask, what is his name? Daniel, do you know where South Africa is? And he goes, it's south of North Africa. Duh.
Correct?
And he's not wrong.
Correct. Then we have, maybe her family doesn't want her back. Maybe they've been trying to get rid of her for years, and now's their chance.
It's a
It's
good
like,
one.
if you could give away Piper, would you? They're like, yeah.
To get real for one moment, we have America isn't perfect. We still have our problems to work out as well. It's 2021. We're still working out many problem. And a lot of the moments with the brothers were really fun for me.
Yep.
Yeah,
They were great.
cute.
Like, this is a serious topic movie, and they added in a really nice element of, I don't want to say funny, but like,
Lightness.
yeah, bringing it
Mhm.
down to earth a little bit of we're all, we're still people and can joke and have our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. I have a few quotes.
Val, do you have any quotes?
I do. I have quite a few, actually. So when Piper is going on about wanting an exchange student, Congressman Ron goes, why can't she be obsessed with something less disruptive, like chores or homework? Which I just thought was funny. Very dad.
I don't
And then in the restaurant, Mahree says to her brother, you have one life to live. Don't push it. Which I wish that I had a younger brother to say that too. And then one of the kids, when Mahree first arrives, goes, I thought we ordered a real African.
Yeah, it's like,
But she's white.
So funny. Oh my God. At one point, Ron says, apartheid is complicated, but there's nothing complicated about racism, which I just thought was a really nice, succinct line. And then I already said is something wrong? Nothing we can't fix. Which
so
I just
good.
Ugh, Roscoe.
I was like, yes.
She was amazing. And then falling asleep in class is frowned upon here in America. I know. I've done it. Ron says that to Mahree.
But in like such a serious, cute way.
Yeah, he's serious dad, but like in a nice way. Like it's not like you're
He's
scared
cool
of
dad.
him. Yeah, he's cool dad.
He's cool dad with a mustache, which like kind of brings him into the cool dad, hot dad, like middle of the Venn diagram, but he's still cool dad.
All right, Allie.
Mo, we have our Venn diagram. We have a Venn diagram of dads because Disney loves dads. And so we have hot dad. Yeah. And we have hot dad. We have cool dad. And then they're a Venn diagram that crosses. And every once in a while, someone ends up in the middle. Allie is hot dad. I am cool dad.
Where do you stand, Mo?
I guess somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
Mo
that's
is
right.
hot cool dad.
You are a hot cool dad. You and Ron are hanging out in the middle.
Yep.
I think those are all my quotes.
I had one more I forgot.
Yep.
I need another Zulu kazoo. That's not a Zulu kazoo. Zulu kazoo to you too. That's from the tiny Billy with the weird head.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, so cute. Oh, all right. Any other moments, things before we head to Spoiler City?
I feel good.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right. So, Mo, typically we just rip our tops off and ride right into Spoiler City. So this is where we spoil the movie. And Mo, we would like to ask you if you would like to do the synopsis of the movie today.
Yeah, I can try. I'm trying to give my rundown.
Perfect. So Val and I will be here for moral support. And truly whatever you say is the plot. So if you want to make up some shit where like unicorns fly in,
Great.
go for it.
Go for it. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, great. So this movie takes place in the 70s in DC, focuses on a Black senator and his family, the Dellums, as they're actually known. And the oldest daughter, Piper, wants an exchange student from Africa to come stay with them. Like, she's been riding this wave for months. Like, the dad comes home to the office, they're playing drums. She's in like different African wear, trying to get her dad to like finally give in. He does eventually give in, and they submit their application for an exchange student. When we cut to the exchange student, who is actually a white South African girl named Mahree, which is a big shocker because they think they're getting, I guess, they kept saying a Black African. It felt weird, like a Black African instead of a white African from South Africa. So we meet Mahree and her family, find out that her dad is part of the policing, that apartheid is alive and well in South Africa. And they have just caught this protester who's been basically trying to free the Black people in South Africa, and they just put him into jail. And we also see our first interaction of like Mahree witnessing how Black Africans are treated in South Africa, with the waiter who like actually spills something on a white South African and then gets, just treated horribly. So Mahree also wants to go. She finally wears down her dad, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna go. And she like tells Flora, because Flora's the real G. Flora's like, so Marie's like, yeah, I get to go to America to stay with the senator, the Dellums. She's like, do you mean Dellums? She goes, no,
Dellums.
Flora's like, you should go, because Flora knows that the senator Dellums is a Black man. And she's like, let me send this child over to America, stay with a Black family, see if we can't change things here. And I'm like, it's my favorite plot point. I'm like, yes. Great. So Mahree gets on a plane, she arrives. Piper and Roscoe, her mom, go to pick them up from the airport. And they realize before Mahree does that this is the family. Mahree thinks that Roscoe and Piper are the servants of the senators who come to pick her up. So I'm like, God, I hate this part. And she still doesn't realize it until they get home. I think she still like kind of like doesn't realize it until the senator comes home. And then, oh no, they go to his office. No, right? Yes, they go to the office first.
An office full of his staff who are also all Black.
It feels like the staff, it feels like maybe the Congressional Black Caucus. Like, it feels like, it's a group of Black people in power in DC. And she walks into the room and she's the only white girl. And she's like, Oh, okay. So she's freaking out. They end up going home. She like locks herself in Piper's room. Like Dad's upset because he thought they were getting a Black African. She's upset. I think is that when they call the embassy and they get that weird like mouth only phone call from the South African embassy?
That's later. Yeah.
So they're like he's like great, we're gonna send him home. We're not doing this. Dad's a cop. I'm not gonna have this in my household. But then like Mahree overhears some arguing about her and decides that she wants to be a better person. She's gonna like try to stay.
And because she called home to say, I want to come home.
Right.
And her parents were like, how is it? You didn't want to come home yet. You must be having a great time. And she kind of second guessed herself.
Yeah, Dad's like,
Dad was like taking bets on how quickly
he's like,
she was gonna.
I told you she wasn't gonna make it. She's like, just kidding. I'm calling to say how much fun I'm having. I'll see you in a while. I was like, okay. So she decides she wants to stay, which is great. I think Mom brings up some like French fries and milkshake as a dinner. Questionable. But then like they have the first interaction where they give each other gifts, like cheap bracelets, which is nice. They kind of bond over like the same music choices. She's like, I have a brother too who would love to see these albums. Piper's like, get out of my room. This is my room. You're down the hall. So they start to bond more. And then the next one we have the scene with Roscoe, she's like, I want this in record. Roscoe's like, we're having cereal, which is great. So they go shopping for like new school clothes. They're like kind of starting to bond. At a certain point in the movie, they have a conversation about the N-word and then also like the K-word in South Africa, because in South Africa, they have like 7 different names for Black people. And Bantu is the one that's like nice. And then the K one, which I'll have you Google, I don't really want to say it, is the bad one for Black people. And she's like, I would never call you the bad one.
But she says it out loud.
She says it out loud twice. So they dropped the N word twice and then also like the K word twice in the speed of like 3 minutes. And then like they're talking and Dad hears this and comes rushing like he is like, I can't believe. He's like, no, Dad. She said she would never call me that one. And he's like, okay, so we're good then.
And right before this, we see like a similar shot to the very beginning where the waiter spills something on someone, he gets called.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And we see this happen at the mall where someone spills something on another person and she's expecting the person who was spilled on to say mean things to the waiter. And he is very normal saying, yeah, no worries, just get me something new. And this is like starting to become the revelation of, oh, we can be civilized human people.
Yeah. He's like, oh, just give me whatever this is. It's really good. It's like, oh, great.
No one would be that cool about a Sunday being dumped on their shirt.
Never. It didn't matter who you are. No one's like that. This is after the shopping montage too, and then they have that interaction. And I think at this point, everyone's getting used to like they get the phone call from the South African embassy about it. I think that's the only thing I can say. South African is South African. That's it. And it's just all you see is the weirdest phone call is like a woman from like the nose down in the phone. And she's calling to check in because they realize they've sent this child to a Black family. And even though they're ambassadors living in the US, they're still like, we don't like Black people. And so he gets the call and he's like, we're fine. He just kind of like says them in their place, but like not, he's pretty forceful. He's like, it's fine. She's fine. Why are you checking up on me? But then I think eventually they come and like pick Mahree up.
Because Stephen Biko gets killed.
Right. Stephen Biko, that's right. Stephen Biko gets killed in prison. They have a big blow up, actually, Mahree and Piper, about it, because even though Mahree is growing, she still doesn't quite realize that like Stephen Biko was a freedom fighter. So Piper's like, the cops killed him in jail. And Marie's like, no, he like died of natural he killed himself. That's what happened. He's like,
and because she kept calling him a terrorist.
Yes. And she's like, he's a freedom fighter. But of course, like Marie's dad is a cop. So of course she thinks a certain way. And so they have a huge blow up about it, a huge fight. And then the embassy people come and scoop her up. But even through this, Piper's still like, I still want you to stay with us. She like calls her dad, saying that's what happened. She's the embassy. They're like, call your parents, let them know you're coming home. And here comes Dad. Here comes Senator Dellums to the rescue. Hot, cool Dad. He's like, we'll get this figured out, and like brings her home, which is like a really remarkable moment. I just really like that moment in the film. And then they come back and she's like, "Oh, why are you crying? You didn't think I was gonna come back?" Like nothing. I don't think they've resolved that issue. But they come back and they're still friends.
Well, and when Mahree was in the office of the South African embassy, she kind of realized that
she sees the protesters outside and realizes it's bigger than what she thought it was.
This is scary. This is me witnessing this firsthand. No, I am smart enough to know what's right and wrong. And so she starts to really realize that.
Yeah. They still don't talk about it though, so I don't think they ever will. I mean, I'm just gonna point it out. They don't talk about it.
I guess maybe because we're, in our late 20s and early 30s that we have the mental capacity to process that maybe when we were children we didn't pick up on.
That's true. That's true.
Well, when they get in the fight, they part ways, and Dad goes to talk to Mahree, and Roscoe goes to talk to Piper. So I presumed that off camera, Roscoe was fixing everything like she always does.
I'm sure.
Explaining everything to Piper. So by the time that they were like reconnected, she was fine.
Piper's like, I didn't talk about it, although Mahree probably did.
Yeah.
So he comes back home, and I think it's like this near the end of the film. They're going to a festival. What was the name of the festival? The Pan-African Festival. And so, sorry, their friend from Nigeria is like handing out flags to everyone, and Marie's like, "That's the rebel flag or whatever it is." He's like, "You need this more than I do," and he gives it to her. But then like they have this like the senator speaking, gives this really great speech where he like mentions Mahree and how much like he's kind of grown and learned from her, and like how it's so great to have her. And then I believe like she ends up going home. She sees her parents. She of course wants to see Flora because Flora is her best friend. Flora is this child's only Black friend, and she's a servant. But we'll get back to it. So she's my best friend, and Piper's like, "But she works for you, so does she even like you?" Great. So she. I'm sorry. So she
literally like, you pay her.
She works for you. It's not like, but she's your best friend. Okay. So they get home. Mom to pick her up. She like runs. First person she wants to see is Flora. Gives her a big old hug. Opens her jacket, and there is the flag of the freedom fighters inside. Because she's cool now.
You want to buy a sundial?
and then they embrace, and then it like fades to black, and then we see that it was based on like true story of this actual senator. But yeah,
that was great. That was a perfect synopsis.
That was perfect synopsis. That was the shortest one we've ever had, and honestly, it was absolutely perfect. It was everything we needed.
Yep. I think this is as good a time as any to mention that I was curious what happened to Mahree, or if Mahree was like if that was her name, like what happened to her, because we know what happened to the Dellums family.
Yeah.
And so I did some Googling, and like I didn't find like a good source for this information, but it seems to be common understanding that she became like a freedom fighter.
Like I would hope so.
Yeah, her real name was Carrie. They didn't say her last name anywhere. And so she became really involved in the movement, and apparently she was like interrogated and like disappeared.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. So like nobody knows exactly what happened to her, and like she basically like she'd been writing to both Ron and Piper, when she went home, and then basically like the letters stopped. And they like couldn't reconnect with her. Yeah.
Oh, they probably did disappear her.
Yeah, which is just like sad to think about, that like she became enlightened from this experience to the point where she really was trying to make a difference, and then it just didn't go the way it should have. So it was, that was a sad thing to find out. Sorry to be a downer, but I did want to mention that I had found that out because I thought it was worth knowing what happened to her. Piper is like a writer, and she does like speech engagements and all kinds of stuff. She's doing very well. Yeah. So it's cool that like this is obviously the first one that's been based on real people. So that was kind of fun to learn about real human beings. Friends, when those two small, I literally just wrote in all caps in my notes, 2 small girls just said the N-word and a bunch of exclamation points. And also, they said the K word probably like 20 times.
They said it a couple, like Dad says that, they say it like a couple times in that time. They say it in like the restaurant, because I guess to us that's not as bad as the N word because it's
Right,
not. But
my understanding is that it's the N word in South Africa.
so in South Africa, they would have been like,
Yeah,
"What are we doing?"
Well, and friends listening, a terrible point about it is Disney Plus has in the subtitles it written out.
Yeah.
It has all of these words written out.
Yes.
And
Someone
I
typed that.
think that is so inappropriate.
It's like hard
One that
R.
it's it's
It's hard
just
R.
so I can't believe that they have that in there.
Yeah.
It honestly like makes me upset.
Because I feel like people who are hard of hearing reading subtitles would know what that word is. Like they were like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, I know that." It's like you don't need to write it out. Who was like, "We're gonna get real with these subtitles and write out"?
Like,
the
who do I
full
need to
word.
email? How do I send a strongly worded email?
And this came out in 2000, so I remember, like, as a kid, I don't remember this being in it, but then I watched it again like 5 years ago, and I remember like screaming at my TV. I sent Val a screenshot of me, just like, they use the N-word in Color of Friendship. Like, I was like shocked. Like, no bleeping, just like, here is the word. We're saying it again. And I was like, oh my God.
They were both too comfortable saying that word. I was just like,
No,
what
I'm
is
thinking
happening?
about it and it just gave me goosebumps. Oh,
It's a weird scene. I just don't.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, I understand, I guess. I'm like trying to justify the use of it in the film.
Right. You're like, I understand like that, the importance of that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the two cultural differences. Because that's basically Piper learning about like am I right in saying it's like the caste system of apartheid kind of?
Yeah, because there's like the good and not in words versus like the bad ones. And that's like what the Bantu are versus like the K one. And so that's like, yeah, kind of what.
And so it's kind of her educating, it's Mahree educating Piper on that, but they just go about it in such a like, oh, no way.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know, like in 1977, like if that is just how that conversation would have gone. Like it is very possible that at that time,
yeah,
both of them for different reasons would have just said it like that.
Because they are kids. There are like the things that the stigma that we put on words, they don't necessarily put on words. They don't know, they're still learning. So they kind of had a very frank conversation about it at that age. It's very possible.
Right. Yeah. And they were both like obviously very smart, like precocious girls. So they were probably also like, we're adults. We can have this conversation and be grown-ups about it. So that might have been part of it too.
I have so many notes in all caps of my oh my gods, my no's. How is this word not dubbed over?
Yeah.
Okay, mom rocks.
Yep.
I just had a lot of feelings about this movie.
Yeah. Because they really did only show this during Black History Month, and they wouldn't show any other part of the year.
Well, so that's why I'm wondering if that's why I never saw it, because if they never played it, when I wasn't if I wasn't home at the time, or if it never played again and again, like that's why we saw Brink so many times,
because it was on all the time. Yeah, they only, as far as I know, they only played this during like Black History Month for like the next few years, and maybe a few times during the month, but like not
right.
That was it. Yep.
I wonder if the only thing that I could think of is they're like, well, it didn't get as many ratings as our other ones.
I mean,
and so that's their justification of it,
right? And
but that doesn't make
logic.
it right. I'm just sure that in their brain they're like, oh well, not as many people watched it, so let's play Brink again.
But you also like created this movie with this like really hard concept for kids to grasp on with. So yeah, it's not. I think it's important to talk about, but of course it's not going to be like. I mean, I wish I don't know. It's not. Not of course it's not going to be a favorite, but like it has less of a chance between like Halloween Town.
Right.
And
Quince.
And Quince, Kimberly J. Brown, love her. But like and Color of Friendship, which is like this like really tough thing to talk about. But I think it's important, but it's like you kind of don't give it the same space for it to be like loved, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, totally. And that's another reason why it shouldn't be a DCOM. Like it's fine to, it's a TV movie. It was on Disney, fine. But like, don't lump it in with these other movies. Like just treat it differently because it's not the same as these like silly movies, and it shouldn't be compared to them.
Yeah, and it's also curious they like didn't make another one like it. There isn't like, one about another, minority
issue?
group. Yeah, or social
Yeah.
issue. Like there isn't like one like about other families like living through things like because they could have done more. They could have
Sure.
done a whole series of these, to
Disney history movies.
Yeah. To introduce these topics that maybe we don't go over in school. I knew about apartheid growing up because I am Black, spoiler alert. And so there are things.
We are in spoiler city, so.
Oh my goodness. That my parents and I talked about because like there are things happening in the world that affected people who like look like me. But so it could have been a good opportunity for them to be like, great, well here's, a story from the Asian community or the Jewish community. Like we could have had these other moments of like discussing things that are hard, but in a space where kids were like, would be guaranteed to tune in to watch it. So that's
Totally.
just, a missed opportunity. Disney.
100%.
I don't think there's any hope for that now either.
No.
No, they're into like Zombies 4. They're not
Yeah.
gonna start making these movies now.
No.
High School Musical, the musical, the series. So they're not,
But it's 1943.
it's like, okay.
Cha-cha-cha. Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Shall we, or Val, I didn't mean to cut you off. Continue.
No, I was gonna say the same thing. Are we ready for some bingo?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, welcome to Bingo, everyone. Welcome to Bingo, everyone.
Mo, we probably should have warned you. Alec sings a lot, but obviously she's singing less on this particular episode.
I sing less when we have guests because I don't want to take up too much time of the overall time that Val puts on out there. So like it's for the people.
Okay. All right.
If I sing too much, then we get less Mo, and that's not fair. That's not fair.
We don't want to rob the world of Mo.
No.
I'm also not going to sing. So,
You're like, I have to do that at 8:55, okay?
Yeah, you can go see Mo in Baby Wants Candy if you want to hear her sing.
That's true. That's very true.
Awesome. I'll go ahead and start. We got our top left corner. We got One Hit Wonder song.
I don't think so. There was a lot of 70s music, but none of it was.
It was
I didn't
good,
look
too.
up any of the music, but
Yeah.
that first song felt like I had never heard it before.
Oh, no.
It was a pretty well known.
Yeah,
song
it
from
was
the
a big
70s.
song. Yeah.
Yeah, and there were 2 Earth, Wind, and
I was
Fire
born in
songs as well.
1993.
I wasn't born in the 70s.
I was like, what does that mean? What does that mean? It's like, I was born in the 90s. I don't know any 80s movies. Bullshit. And if you don't know, your parents raised you wrong. I said it.
We listened to a lot of Kevin Bacon, okay?
Great. Good. I'm glad.
A lot of John Mellencamp.
Good.
The Bacon
good.
Brothers.
I'm glad to hear it. I
Bob
can't.
Seger.
I can't. I'm not even
Working
that
on
old.
the night moves.
Okay, Mo, you're up.
All right. Breaking the fourth wall, looking into the camera.
No, I don't think there was any.
No.
Not today.
Mm-mm.
Okay, holiday themed. Are we counting Black History
No. No.
Month?
Next box, clunky metaphor.
I thought they made the metaphor for us.
Very clear.
The Weaver birds were the metaphor.
Oh yeah.
of the
Yeah.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they literally told that Weaver bird story like 3 times.
They did, and then they came back and they still had the bird when she showed up. The bird was still the thing. So
Yeah. I think she was going to free it, which was nice.
yes, she did free it. That's right. She showed her protest flag and she freed the bird. God, what a metaphor. Okay.
Oh, dear.
Parents who just don't get it.
I mean, you could argue Mahree's parents just don't get it. They literally are not even aware of
They
what's
don't-
going on.
Yeah, they don't get like that apartheid is bad. I don't think that's the same thing. I think
No. No, and I would argue that Ron and Roscoe are like the coolest parents ever.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they get it.
Dad doesn't get it for a little bit, but Roscoe so hardly gets it that like I don't think we mark it.
no,
Nah.
no.
Mm-mm.
All right. Cool non-parent adult. Well, you could count Roscoe
No,
for Mahree.
she says
Oh,
not. Oh,
well-
but Flora.
Oh yeah,
I was
Flora
thinking
too.
Flora. She's the Anne Hathaway in the movie of Anne Hathaway and Les Mis, is only in it for like 7 seconds. Flora steals the show and is only in it.
The whole thing set up because of her.
You're so right. Flora is the cool non-parent adult.
Yep. I'm adding it. Next box. Someone too famous for a TV movie.
I would argue Carl Lumbly
Yeah.
is pretty famous.
Yeah, for like being big in the 80s. I wasn't alive in the 80s, so like I wouldn't know, but
Literally?
I just wanted to see Mo react to that. Mo's never going to talk to me again after this.
Never. Like, delete
This is
my
it. This is the end
number.
of me and Mo's
That's
friendship.
It. It's over. It's me and Val now. All right. Great. All right. Competition to resolve central problem. I don't think so. No.
This isn't motocrossed.
No.
No. A montage sequence. Yes. Several. Yeah. Shopping at the mall. There was also like the friendship.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
montage.
Look at me and all my friends. We're friends now.
Yeah. Cliche villains.
I would say yes.
White people.
Well, I would say the embassy people are very much like with the phone call.
Political.
Yeah, they're like,
yeah.
Oh, is everything all right? I was like, okay, all right. This is dramatic for no reason. Clothes or item you owned.
Oh, Allie's got one.
On Piper's desk, she had troll dolls.
I have troll dolls.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw troll dolls. And then I also, when they were driving through Washington, D.C., I saw a guy in a beret. I have a beret.
Hell yeah.
Mo, did you have any clothes or items you owned?
No.
Okay.
I mean, we all probably had bell bottoms at one point, right?
I had platform shoes when I was in middle school.
Ooh.
Spice Girls were big, so I had some of those. That's true. And I had vests. There were vests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 90s were really like the 70s all over
Mhm,
again.
mhm.
Late 90s, early 2000s. Like they probably just went and bought their costumes for this movie at like limited to.
Target.
Rotten Tomatoes 40 to 60. Okay, so Mo, you did not look this up ahead of time, right? Like
No.
you don't know what the rating is. Okay, great. So I don't either. Allie knows. So we both get to guess. If we're within 5 of the correct number, we get to feel really cool. And if it's between 40 and 60%, we get the square.
Okay.
And if it's both, then we're super cool. So go ahead and take a whack.
63.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, that's probably too high.
Maybe not. I'm gonna go even higher. I'm gonna go 68.
You're both wrong.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
no.
Is it really low?
It's 77.
Oh,
That is the
good.
highest rated one that we've
Highest
ever had.
rated one we've had.
That's good.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's
All
good.
right.
So we don't get the square and you guys don't win, but
But
highest
that's
rated
pretty
movie we
cool.
watched.
Honestly,
That's great.
winning the fact that it got that high. That's just, I'm okay
Yeah.
with it.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a good movie. Like it's a well-made movie.
Yeah. All right. Happily Ever After.
I don't think it's happily ever after because I think it's just kind of like this is the beginning of her journey. I don't think it's like a
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's true. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. First time we're not getting happily ever after.
Yeah. Almost kissing.
Nope.
No.
No,
Nothing.
that's correct.
No romance in this one.
Good.
No. Yeah. And it didn't need it.
No. Someone who became famous.
I feel like with the amount of people who are successful character actors from this movie,
Yeah.
all of their work combined is someone
Yeah.
who became famous.
Okay.
Yeah. All of them did like big stuff after this. So.
Yeah. Betraying of one's real friends or values.
No.
No, they kind of stuck to their guns.
Yeah, and Mahrie's changed.
Right. Like she changed, but it wasn't a betrayal. It was
Yeah.
Right.
a learning experience, a growth experience.
All right, your childhood crush? No.
Nope.
Nope.
Didn't
Not
cross me?
childhood.
No. Okay.
Allie's,
All
Allie's
right.
present crush. Obviously bad special effects or stunts. No, there were no. Oh, Allie saw something.
The release of the bird.
Oh, you're right. They did like the
yeah.
Harry Potter like zoom in front of the camera. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. I forgot I wrote that down.
Eric Von Detten, Kirsten Storms, Ryan Merriman, Kimberly J. Brown, Annie Lawrence brother. Nope.
Musical number?
No.
Nope.
Some good music.
I usually say, I wish. I don't know if I wish that about that.
When do you sing about apartheid? Please. No. Don't do that.
Yeah, I don't think I wish for this one to be a musical.
Don't do that.
Magic.
Nope.
No.
Someone says the title of the movie.
No.
Nope. Thank goodness.
Nope. Yeah.
It's the color of friendship. No. Scooby-Doo?
No, there's nothing really to Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Racism. No, not really.
Oh my God.
It was racism all along.
You can literally say that about anything. It was racism.
Oh no.
Oh God.
Mo, so it's you, Val.
Oh, okay. The heroes create the problem. No.
The only thing is the heroes, Mahree and Piper, both did convince their parents to do the exchange program. Had that not happened, they would not have had many of these problems, aside from like apartheid.
Well,
systemic
well,
racism.
even
That, like,
Flora,
that.
I feel like Flora handled it too because she was encouraging them. She was encouraging her to be like, "Hey, you should go do this thing with the Dellums because I think it'll be good." She knew. That's the best part of the whole movie. It's her being like, she keeps.
You should go. Have a great time.
Dellums. She goes, "Oh, you should go. You should go. Well, have a good time." I'm dying. Her best friend Flora set her up.
We don't have to mark it, but I just thought that in terms of the plot line of the two of them, they both, if they both had not asked for like that, then it wouldn't have been.
But also, like, there are 99 out of 100 scenarios where this didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like the fact that, like, even if they had signed up for this, that this match happened this way, unbeknownst to everybody involved, like, that's a really random thing that I can't believe actually happened in real life.
Yeah.
She goes, they didn't ask for the race or a photo. And I was like, they didn't ask for a photo? Okay.
In this, it's surprising to me that they didn't ask for a race on the South African application, if not on the American one.
That's a fair question.
Yeah.
No photo if you don't. Okay. Who we picking up at the airport? Okay. All right. This is
maybe they just assumed in the South Africa. This is terrible, but it's probably the case. They wouldn't allow Black South Africans to travel.
Yeah.
Like, remember they had the passes
papers
and stuff, so they just assumed that everybody was white. And they probably because of their own biases, they were like, well, everyone who's participating in America is white, especially a congressman.
That's what Roscoe says that. She said, what does it say? She said African means Black African, and she assumed congressman meant white politician.
Yeah.
Right. Wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
Exactly.
Roscoe. Okay, Roscoe.
She was just the wisest.
Oh, God, she's so
The
great.
best.
Like, if you're going to watch it for Roscoe, because really, she's like putting down some wisdom and just like,
Truly, she's amazing.
She is the best part of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
when Marie's like, everyone has papers. They like it. I was like, oh, word? They like me? I was like, oh, word? Okay. Then they know where they have to go. And they're all like,
I like that Piper is like, did you ever ask anyone if they like it?
She's like, no, why would I? She's like, okay.
She literally does do that. She's like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, last but not least, I think this is me. It's lead as a fish out of water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sad to say, ladies, we did not get bingo this week.
I think that's okay, though. I think that's okay.
I agree.
That's okay. The one that we would have gotten it on is a competition to resolve central problems. So if they had ridden motorcycles to decide
to resolve apartheid, like, oh
right.
my God. That's what we saw in apartheid was a motocross race. Yes. Like, that's how we solve racism. This is how we break it down. We're going to ride snowboards.
Honestly, that snowboard race was about racism. The snowboard race in Johnny Tsunami is about racism.
You're right. It is actually about
they solve racism with the snowboard race.
It's very true.
Wow. Truly insane. Thank you for playing bingo with us, Mo, and don't go too far. We've got one more game for you. That's my game show host voice.
That was great.
This is going to be a really easy game today because it's going to just spark some conversation about us, which is, this game is called I Want My Friends to Be. And you're going to name 3 things that you look for in a friend. All right, Mo, what are your 3 words of I want my friends to be?
Funny. I really enjoy when you can cut up back and forth between with friends. It's important. Because also
Mo.
okay. Also, because I tend to tease as a way of showing affection. So I need people who could handle that, and that's part of I think being funny. Driven. You can be whatever you want to be, but I really like surrounding myself. This is gonna sound weird, with people who have a passion for something. They're going after goals because it helps push me further as well. And then, oh no, I forgot the 3rd one.
Allie or I can go and you can think of it.
I was being so bold. My 3rd one. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Val. I want my friends to be.
I only have 2 right now.
Okay.
But empathetic, because I'm an empath, so it's hard to be close with people who are not on that wavelength, because then it's sort of imbalanced. And then affectionate in some way. It doesn't have to be physically affectionate necessarily, although I am with friends who are okay with it. I am very touchy-feely with some of my friends, but it's more just freely showing affection. So those are the first 2 that popped into my head.
Love that. Mo, did your 3rd one pop up?
Yeah, honest. I like people who, because the purpose of friends is to help you grow. So people can call me on my bullshit if I'm doing things that are weird or not healthy or great is also helpful. Be cut that shit out. You're being weird. I'm great, thank you. So that's
Yeah.
That's fun.
Awesome. My 3 are, my first one is Kurt. Oh,
you didn't do the jingle.
Thank you so much for calling me out, because we'll get to my 3rd word. I want my friends to be courteous. My first one is courteous in all sense of the word, toward others, toward me, toward themselves. I want them to really care about other people and all of those things. The second one is humorous. Of course, being funny and being able to laugh with your friends is so important to me. I think, the 3 of us are improvisers and you kind of find your people. But even outside of the improv community, I feel like you really do find people who will either laugh with you or have those good times with you. And then my 3rd one is open, which is kind of a weird one, but I am really kind of am an open book. And I really like when people can also trust me with those things. And one of my friends makes fun of me for how many friends I have. I have a lot of friends. I have 8 weddings next year already. And it's only September 2021. And I can only imagine that 3 more will pop up. I have but it's because I find those connections and I want to invest in them. And if I don't have that openness with you kind of right off the bat, then I don't really, and I know this is shitty, but I don't invest in the friendship and I don't keep in contact and I don't reach out as much. But there are those people who I'm no, I love this person and I want to continue being open with them and having that friendship. And I think that's really important to me.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that. I think that what I would call that is from my perspective is agreeing with my belief system that there is an abundance of love to give in the world, right? Some people are I have my 2 best friends and those are the people who I focus on and care about and invest in, and I respect that. But I too have a lot of friends, and I went through I'm a little bit older than Allie, but I had the exact same experience where I had multiple weddings that I was a bridesmaid in the same year and all of that stuff. And my friends would make fun of me that I was living 27 dresses and all that. But it's because I don't believe that there is any limit to how many people you can have a connection with.
Absolutely.
So, as long as they want to give it back.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for playing I Want My Friends to Be.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right. Well, Mo, that's the end of the pod. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Mo, where can people find you?
In Chicago. No. You can find
Just
me
look.
on the internet. I'm at Momo's a Peach. So MOMOSA Peach on all platforms. Just branding myself like that. Yeah, if you're in Chicago, come check out Baby Wants Candy, or Comedy Sports has got some stuff going on now. So yeah.
And check out Momo's book club because it's amazing.
Yeah,
Yes, it
also
is.
that. Yep, I'm bad at that. Yes, you can check out Momo's Book Club also on Instagram and Twitter, or go to www.momosbookclub.com and check us out.
And I can cut this out, but Mo might be putting up a podcast.
She's working on a podcast.
Trident.
Yes. Yeah.
That I didn't want to put you on the spot unless you were ready for it. But yeah, there's going to be a partner podcast between Trident and Momo's book club called Momo's Bookcase.
Yeah.
Oh my God, stop it.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna
nice.
be really exciting. Maybe we'll have to have you on to come and can do the show. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Congrats, Mo. That's so exciting.
Yeah, slowly but surely we're getting there. Val nudges me every week, like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm getting my life together. Slowly but surely.
So funny.
It's going to be great. Well, stay tuned for that, folks. It's going to be a wonderful pod.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us today. A very lovely movie. Learned a lot and had some great discussion with you today again, Mo. Really, really appreciate you joining us today.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Bye, Val.
Bye, Al. Bye, Mo.
Bye.
This podcast was produced by me,
And me.
and it was edited by me.
The music was composed by Michael McNally.
You can find us online at thetridentnetwork.com/dcommentaries-pod.
And you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at DCommentaries.
D-Commentaries is a part of the Trident Network. To learn more about our videos, live shows, and other podcasts, please visit thetridentnetwork.com.
Disney Channel original movies.
Damn it, Allie.